everybody. Welcome to the Big Uglies. I'm your host, Josh Denny. Here with me, as always, is Garth Spitali, everybody.
Well, they don't get the Garth jokes.
You don't think they understand the Garth references?
I don't know.
Here we are today. We've got a couple guests in the studio. We all look hungover because we were all together less than 12 hours ago. So long night. But we've got our buddy Nick Romero in the studio. How's it going?
It's going.
You know,
I'm very tired.
Yeah, I know. I can tell.
Yeah.
You came in. You were like, I shouldn't be. None of us should be here today.
Yeah.
We're all extremely wiped out.
Why
And then,
not?
of course, we have the lovely
I'm running a marathon.
Leonarda Jonie here
Thank you.
with us today.
I look like you guys feel. I'm so tired.
No, you don't.
Yeah,
I
you're
think
the only
we-
one that doesn't.
I think we look
we
like
look
you
like
feel.
how we feel.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, women have makeup, so
Yeah.
you know.
Well, this guy wears makeup.
Yeah, Nick wears makeup. Give him
All
a
the
look.
time.
Give him a look. Yeah, there
Really?
it
I got to cover up the sores on my dick.
Okay.
is.
nice, Nick.
Pulling the Shia.
The old LaBouffe, the old LaBouffe number where you're like, this is these are special effects sores. I play someone with herpes. That's what I tell people. Is they go like, oh man, you put
Weren't you in that diabetes commercial? And you'd be like,
pre-diabetes. Get it right.
Yeah.
I was in a pre-diabetes commercial. That's what I always tell people. They go, oh, yeah. When people try to be nice, they're like, oh yeah, you put on a little bit of weight since the last time I saw you. Go, yeah, I gained all this weight for a movie I'm doing. And they go, really? What is it? I go, what's the documentary where I play myself? Just wanted to be true to life.
You're just, it just happens. Motherfuckers be getting fat.
I want
What
to
are
hear
you
more
going
about
on?
this movie that Leonardo was in.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Why
she
do we
was
have to do
telling
that?
us-
Why do you guys have to do that to me?
You dropped it on us
Well,
like right
before
we
the
went
cameras
live.
were on, and I don't want you guys to talk about it publicly. I'm ashamed of my past.
Oh, okay.
I mean, most of us are.
Yeah,
So.
Nick, shamed of your past. This is going to be real bad today. I've never had a four banger. I'm going to look like Fred Astaire over here trying to dial everybody's
That's all right.
cameras in.
I can handle talking.
Yeah. I just know two is you, and we never use 1 and 3 because we're
At the same time?
lonesome. Yeah.
Oh, because there's only always one guest.
Yeah, which is there's the two hosts.
No, I mean,
Remember
if there's a
people-
guest.
Yeah, you're already letting people call you the co-host get to you. What does it feel like to be the co-host, Carl? People are
It
saying
doesn't even.
people are calling Carl the co-host as if it's a demotion, as if I'm not also the co-host.
Right.
So
and by
do-
people, you mean the 3 that watch.
Yes. Well, hold on now. We've got
Well, there's
200
live viewers.
200 live viewers
Do
right
you guys
now.
want? So do you guys want to hear the funny story about that movie I was in?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
That's why we.
Yeah,
So
that's why-
this is going to be really funny. So I was a teacher at this test prep company that was like super highly intellectual, right? And my boss, cool guy, and he knew me and he knew I was an actress. So he goes one day, he calls me in to do my salary review to see if I should get a raise or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, of course, like I'm your best teacher. And then he's like, you want to hear something really funny? He goes, after a long day of working on these very difficult problems and trying to come up with the methodology, I like to come home and just put the stupidest movie on that I can because I don't want to think about
And
it.
he watched it.
And he goes, so I put this movie on and I'm like half falling asleep. And then all of a sudden I'm like, is that Leonarda? And I was like, no, because so I just told you guys I was like 20 pounds overweight. So they put me, it was called Jersey Shore Massacre. You guys can have fun with that. And so they were like, hey, since you're going to be the fat girl in this, you're the grenade that nobody wants to sleep with. And
Yeah.
so I'm in this horrible, like one-piece leopard bikini.
Yes.
And I'm like floating in a pool eating like powdered donuts because I'm supposed to be like, you know,
Oh my God. Are
Yeah.
you kidding
yeah,
me?
and all of them are like,
Nobody wants to fuck her.
exactly. That was the whole thing. And they were like, who's going to get rid of the grenade? And I was like, I was a pretty good actress, so I did a good job.
How
playing.
soon did you die?
Also, I love
Pretty
that.
soon.
Also,
Yeah.
I love
Pretty
that a Jersey Shore horror movie is like my idea of a good porno. She should be a little chunky in a pool eating donuts. That's how it starts.
I love
Yeah.
when it gets all cakey and from the pool.
Yeah, you're like, oh no, there's
Yeah.
chlorinated powdered donut.
Yeah.
I just want to say now with Lizzo, that body type would be an ideal body type.
So you're mad at
Be high
Lizzo.
end.
You're mad at Lizzo that
Oh,
it's
hold on, not for swimming. It's
Not
not
for
an
swimming.
ideal body
It's
type
not.
for pools.
Not
Hey.
also not if you were born in the late 80s, early 90s.
That's true.
Still the same.
It's true.
well, we're not gonna
Because
say
she's
you're
black or because she's my body.
She's bigger than your body.
Yeah, she is probably bigger than me.
well, let's be honest. She's like 6'4".
Yeah, she's in. I would be afraid to be in her presence.
Seriously though, it's a word you could use for me and her. Enormous, right? Enormous comes to mind.
Some would say ginormous.
Yeah. Like if you look at me, like, God damn, that motherfucker is massive. But you can say the same thing about Lizzo.
Yeah,
like, holy shit,
that's a lot of dude.
She's that big.
She might be a Nephilim, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at her.
She's one of those N-words.
Wow.
She's so fat we're finding new N-words for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, so I
Neuropathy.
didn't get the raise after that.
No?
Wait a minute.
Because of that?
Because
no, I'm
of the
kidding. I did.
shitty
Of course
movie.
I got
Oh,
the
okay.
raise.
Oh,
Of course
yeah.
I got the raise.
I thought it was because he was like,
No,
I
but he-
can't give this
But
fat
he
girl.
brought that up, right? I was like, why would you bring that up? You know, we know what I look like. You know what I mean?
Why would I give her a raise?
I
She's
would've
just going to
been
buy
like-
powdered donuts.
I would have been like, well, now that you've seen my porno. He's like, it wasn't a porno. I was like, well, now that you've seen my porno, I believe this is sexual harassment if you don't give me a raise. That is the deal.
Yeah.
Wait. So was this like
So like
poor
10
kids?
It was like
or
10
was
years
it like
ago.
rich kids?
It was rich
for
kids.
the test prep
It was rich kids.
that
yeah.
like wanted to do well in
Of
the
course.
SATs and shit.
Well, there's a mix. Rich kids, some kids want to do well, and some kids are like, my parents are making me, you know, and they complain.
But it wasn't like retarded kids trying to learn.
No. I had this
tests.
one kid. I couldn't tolerate. This was before I even got super red pilled. I couldn't tolerate these like soft guys. I had this one kid who was like so doughy and soft, and he was like round.
Fucking sitting right here.
No,
God damn it. I mean, you don't have to.
and he
to
couldn't
relive it.
see, and he was such a softie, and his dad was paying for everything. And then I'd be like, all right, cool. So you're gonna get on the subway because this was in New York City. He's like, my dad doesn't want me to take the subway because it's dangerous. And I was like, how are you? And he had a girlfriend. I'm like, you're gonna reproduce. This is gonna reproduce. It was
It was probably dangerous for the trains. They're just like, son, don't go down there. There's a lot of innocent people that could be harmed.
Now he gets 2 seats.
Yeah.
So yeah, I used to get real frustrated with those types, and I would stop working with them. I was like, I don't care how much money you pay me. I can't tell. I'm not gonna help somebody like you.
Well, see, that's what I thought was weird because last night we all did a show together down at Torrance at the end where I will be filming my special next week, April 22nd. If you want to come out to that, come out to that. Most of us will be there. I don't think you're still in town. But...
No, but I'll be back on April 28th.
Oh, great.
That's convenient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just leaving for your thing, and then, I'll be back at another time.
Well, I didn't know you were doing a special. You know what I mean? If I'd known you were going to do a special,
you and everybody in Los Angeles.
I would have stayed a little because April
Yeah.
22nd, that's when I'm leaving. Damn it.
Yeah.
It's a Monday, right?
Yeah, it's next Monday.
Well, that was smart. Do a taping on a Monday.
Well, that's when we do the fucking. You know what? Nobody fucking asked you. What you think? What you think? Don't you have school? Don't you have retards to go teach? But yeah, we're all wiped out from doing that show last night. And then what was funny is you were on stage talking about like how much you hate today's man, like the kind of men that are around today. And then I was like, well, then you must like sports. And you're like, nope, not at all. I was like, well, that's probably your problem.
I like her.
Athletes are like totally your jam.
But she probably has a similar take that we have on modern sports.
As soon as she said
Modern
that
sports
too,
are
I
all
was
gay
like,
pussies.
as
Yeah,
soon
they
as
are
she
gay.
said that, I was like, I'm gonna ignore this
She
bitch
thinks-
all night.
She
Yeah,
thinks sports
not
are
Nick's vibe
gay,
at
but
all.
not in like the ironic, like hipster way.
Yes.
She like legitimately thinks they're gay.
Because they are now. But
Yeah.
it's funny, like Leonarda's on stage. You didn't hear this last night because it was after you left, but you were on stage talking about like, we don't want to be respected. We want to be abused and bashed and fucked within an inch of our life. And Carl's just sitting in the back looking at you like,
That's when the Garth music started playing.
yeah, exactly.
First of all,
Dude, you know whenever I
First of
do
all.
that joke in a room full of people and there's women in there and I start saying that, the women erupt in applause. I'm like, we want you to man up a little. And they're like, yes, please. And I'm like, you bitches are the reason they're not doing it. 'Cause
Yeah, those ladies
every
in the
time
corner
you do
were
it, you
losing
cry about freaking being abused and sexually
no,
harassed.
I thought it was hilarious when you said like we used to be in fear. Like we used to go out and remember we used to have to be every day and every minute, every hour we were scared to get raped. Now nobody's out having fun. I was like, fuck yeah, dude. That was killer. That crushed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so funny. Like, I actually think, well, we were all, then of course because we all like you so much, we were like, if you're moving, you need to come here, because there's nothing I look forward to more than you being comedy intervention by existing for all the other women in this comedy scene, to be like,
It was great.
Oh,
it was
that's
great
what
that
we're
Sam was there
supposed to
too.
do.
It was great that Sam was there too, and
Yeah.
Sam had the moment of the night.
Oh God,
We're
that
all-
was
yeah.
so
This was
funny.
the
We're
best.
all in the green room.
We're all talking the whole time.
We're all talking, and we're all in the green room, and there's just happens to be a lull at the right time, and we're like, oh, let's see what Sam's getting some laughs out there, and then he's doing a bit of crowd work and just goes, "You Jewish? You Jewish?"
No, he goes, "Are you a Jew?"
Yeah. And he goes, "You're Jewish, bro?" He was like, "Yeah, Jewish. Your people are destroying the world." And we just we're like.
He was so quick with it too,
erupted
man.
back
That brought the green room out into the wing
dude,
to
we
watch.
all like opened the door and went out there. We're like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
dude.
it's so funny. I was sitting there thinking, like, it had to be like it had to be almost like
Shout out Sam Tripoli.
had to almost be like World War II times. And like, I feel like Adolf's really on one now. Sam. what do you think he's talking about? He's like, Jews are ruining the entire world. It was like, oh shit, we got to get out there. It took a turn.
Dude, that was
the moment of the night, man.
The
Yeah.
moment of that. It was so fucking funny because there couldn't have been a time where everyone in the green room just stopped talking at once.
Well, we sort of
And we were
acknowledged
like-
that he's like killing out there.
Yeah,
We're
like,
like, what is he
All right,
doing?
we want to hear this. Okay, what's the next bit?
Yeah,
And then
Leonarda
we
goes,
just hear that.
she goes,
Yeah.
I think Sam's doing pretty well. And then we all shut up. And that was the next thing that came out of his mouth.
Oh,
Yeah,
it
it
was
was
so good.
So this is a perfect timing to hear that joke.
That was
man.
amazing.
I love Sam, dude. He's so funny, and his crowd work stuff is just so spot on with everything.
He's great. This whole like dragon that he's getting online and shit like that just makes no sense to me.
It's
man.
not a dragging though. I think it's entirely. I think
Who's
it's entirely.
dragging? Wait, what are we saying? What
No, it's
dragging?
about the clip. The
Oh, that's 'cause
pronouns
people are
clip.
dumb.
Yeah, but I don't think he's getting dragged. I think
Who's
you're
getting
gonna
fake dragged?
yeah, you're gonna start seeing these things blow
You
up.
see all
because,
the replies?
yeah, you see all
Yeah,
these
dude,
things
they
blow
fight.
up.
No, the replies,
Yeah.
dude, the replies on some of them are just like, grow up, faggot.
Yeah.
It's like, and you're just like, so they're mad, they're arguing about a word, and then they're just calling them like more slurs and shit in the comments.
That's
and
funny,
like,
dude.
and it's only funny because they made it so taboo and so like absurd to even say words anymore. That even like was it you that was talking about how Mexican is now like a slur to people or something?
Yeah.
Is that it? Do people pull back when you say it
Dude,
out
that
there?
was
As soon as
It
you
was
say
even in the-
Mexican, don't you notice how people you go Mexican? They're like, oh my
I
That
don't
was
know,
even in the-
dude.
that
We've been
No, that
taking
was
huge.
curb
in
finale.
the curb finale. It's even in there.
Yeah.
About how
Cheryl doesn't like
goes,
Mexican food. She's
"Hey,
like, keep
you
that
s-
down.
You said that I don't like Mexican food. And he's like, yeah, who cares? It's Mexican food.
Yeah, but it's
some
like-
sort of thing. You can't say Mexican food.
You
And then
can't say
even-
Mexican.
Yeah, and then Ted Danson came and was like, I don't appreciate that you told other people that Cheryl doesn't like Mexican food. He goes, what?
Yeah.
The fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
And it's like when you said that shit last night, I was like, oh man, this has taken a whole nother level of like you can't even say the
An
nationality.
acknowledgement of a person's
Of a-
nationality.
It's
is
crazy to
considered
hear that
racist.
perspective coming from where you're coming from, where apparently Austin is supposed to be like a gunslinger town.
It's not though.
Meanwhile, we're over here
in LA.
in Torrance in a area that you're not supposed to be fucking taking the and we're just throwing fastballs like left and right where we're at. So I'm like, I don't get exposed to
Some would
any
call them Dominican fastballs.
I don't get exposed to any of the like pulling back stuff because our audience in that area like knows what to expect and we've
Yeah.
kind of like nurtured that.
Well, when I used to do my show, I used to do a show called Shadow Band, and my audience knew what to expect. So you could just,
Yeah.
I mean, the only time I got heckled was by another comedian who, by the way, moved into Austin because his scene was too liberal and destroyed comedy.
Houston.
And yeah,
And then he
well,
came to
and then he
fuck it
brings
up.
the same. I'm like, dude, yeah, you're an idiot. It's like the thing I said when I go, immigrants get here and immediately they want to start preserving their culture. I'm like, that's exactly what ruined your country in the first place. Like, I mean, you freaking let that go. So they're like, oh, we want to preserve our liberal values. I'm like, that's what killed comedy in the first place. And I think what's happening is they pushed so far to this extreme. We kept accepting it. Everybody on the other side was like, oh, you're right. We should be compassionate. We should be empathetic. Blah, blah, blah. We accepted it without really knowing where we were going.
Right.
And now we've gotten to the end point almost, and we see that basically where we're headed to is total communism.
You said the
Marxism.
end point?
Kind of the end point of their ideology, which is like a total silencing. And I think people are finally like, that's enough. And now we're going to say every single thing that you told us not to say, and go fuck yourself.
Yeah, that's why I actually like Middle Eastern people, because the ones that aren't Muslim probably assimilate the most to American culture, because they're like
Christian Middle Easterns.
Yeah, or Jewish ones. They're just
Whoa.
like, look at well, Muslim destroy our entire way of life, so go USA. Like they fucking hate it, dude. Like,
I love when you do that
crazy.
accent, dude. It's so funny.
yeah, it's
Well, you
it's
don't.
because we live. It's
You
because we
don't.
live around it all.
You
the time.
don't. Everyone they try, dude. That's the best part about out here is the Armenians
Oh yeah.
were the final straw in the trans debate.
Well,
Nice.
in the
Parents-
culture war
for
entirely.
parents, right?
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
So out here in Glendale, the parents were going to literal war with cops and the teachers unions, all this stuff for the trans shit.
Armenian parents?
Yeah, Armenian parents was like, stop teach this to our kids, you know,
Yeah.
and shit.
Yeah.
And they were the only parents who showed up like anti-protest. Anytime somebody were like, you know, trans rights for kids, yeah, they were like fighting them.
That's awesome.
And then ever since that happened, there's been more and more parents going to the school board meetings and all things like that. It was the Christian Armenians out here
Nice.
that were like, we don't.
Yeah, here it is.
Like, I don't know what that is. We got sound.
I gotta unmute it.
Oh, this is what
Erupted over a resolution recognizing June as Pride Month. KTLA Sandra Mitchell live in Glendale with the situation at this hour. Sandy.
Micah and Sheriff, a few fights now.
Well,
The situation is getting more intense. The crowd here just behind us getting bigger. It is getting louder, and yes, they are getting more agitated. Inside, there's a school board meeting going on, but the real story is right here in the parking lot. This clash between those who believe LGBTQ plus and pride should not be a
Who are
part of the
these
school
people?
curriculum,
Armenian
and
parents.
those who
Oh,
believe
okay.
it
So
should
they're
be.
the ones protesting.
Yeah, so it's a Buddhist meeting. And then, so look,
Are they being painted as violent?
Well, what's funny is
They can't.
Antifa tried to say that this was a Proud Boys thing, that the Proud Boys went there to try to get these books and this curriculum overthrown, and you show up and it's
Close
like an Uber thing.
Just a few minutes ago, protesters rushing the building. Police
All
did
the Uber drivers
establish
off that
a
day.
starting line
Bro,
and
we
were
don't have-
quickly
we
able
don't
to
have.
get the situation under control. There are hundreds of protesters here. I would estimate about 200 probably, and about
Look at that little
100
kid. He's like,
officers. Many of those officers in riot gear.
Yeah.
Let's take you back
Why
2
you
weeks
trying to
ago.
molest?
A similar
I didn't know the
situation,
Proud
another
Boys
board
were
meeting, the
brown.
fight started, and the police
Yeah.
ordered the crowd to disperse. They did use pepper spray and arrest 3 people. There are those from the LGBTQ plus community here to support the board. But
Well, look,
right
look,
now, it does
pride
appear
dudes
there
are
are
trying to
many
fight
more
'em.
people here to protest the school board, saying the board no longer
Yeah.
represents them.
Nice.
enough news, bitch.
You
Yeah,
look-
and then this one, she's like, it's so sad that I'm wearing this mask, and it's just they're coming here and they're just trying to kill us, and
it's like
then
you're.
now cut to the Middle Eastern guy who's like, yes, they tried to suck my son. I say no, I don't. You don't suck my kid.
This is crazy.
If you know that's this guy's voice.
Like what's going on? And then they started clashing, and oh my god,
This is way better than the real fucking. Give us the other side now. The news.
who's walking around? Patrick Bet David?
yeah. There,
Dude, is that him in the polo right there
it's
walking
all
around?
Patrick Bet David's walking around.
I really like what you guys are doing here. This is very great.
The guy's on his phone. He's like, "Yes, cuz you have to come quickly." Yeah. No, my
It's getting out of hand.
Dude, surge pricing was through the roof during this.
no. This is the best time to bury the body. Nobody's paying attention.
Do you know what?
It's protest. You can get paid leave.
You know what a common male name
Guy on the
is
right, I love
in
him.
Armenia?
What?
Karen. and it's spelled Karen.
Yeah.
That's
And
funny.
it's so funny that they were fighting a bunch of Karens
That's
of
funny.
Karens.
That's funny.
They're just like, you're Karen, I'm Karen. This fucking Karen and fucking the Karen.
This is the whole problem.
You're fucking them. I want to do this. Look at this. It's simple. 2 dicks, don't go. Okay, that's it. Don't teach. Fucking guy.
Oh, you hear that,
I'm
Nick?
Karen.
It don't go.
It doesn't
Yeah.
go.
Stop
Don't
being
go.
gay, Nick.
That's it. I know.
Oh shit.
Speaking of gay people, your impression of Ty Rivera last night was so funny,
He's
dude.
having
This
him
is
die.
spot on, Ty,
So
right?
spot on. Maybe I said it. Okay.
And then they point out, like, you said it. And I mean, like, maybe I did say it. And yeah, that's fine. I did. But, oh, well, I've moved on. You should too.
That's always his thing. He'll fucking take somebody all the way down and be like, and then next week he'll be like, so I liked them again, and you should just get over what I said about them.
Here's the thing about them, though. They're actually funny.
Yeah, I love it. He's just so that's how gay guys are supposed to be, by the way.
Thank you.
Absolute cunts. Mean cunts. That's the best kind. That's the funniest.
they've all become like even more gay. Like I have this thing where I go, it's so bad with men these days that gay guys are gay. Where they can't, that we gotta respect feeling. What?
Ty said something to me one time when we were back when I did the March of the Pigs, and we were talking about this at lunch the other day because Ty was like, he goes, "Is Josh taking you to lunch? Don't let him go cheap. Have him take you to sushi. He took me to sushi." And I go, I was like, "Yeah, that place sucks now, though, unfortunately." So we went and got like steak and burgers, but
Which was delicious.
he said one, I think on that podcast, he's like, "Yeah, I don't understand why people think being gay is an excuse to be a faggot." I was like, dude, that's the biggest mic drop sentence a gay man has ever said.
He's so funny. He's
Yeah.
such a funny guy.
He's a beast.
It's
I like it when he gets frustrated with himself.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
he just says the thing.
Yeah, it's so good.
And I probably did, but oh well.
Yeah. Also, too, I love that he's like, I'm not even gonna say, listen, she's a fat cunt. Okay? It's like I'm not even gonna go into it.
You're
but-
not thin enough or hot enough to be a mean girl.
You're too thick to be a hot girl and not mean enough to be a mean girl.
Yeah.
Some shit.
Yeah, that's what I think is, you know what it is? Is like every fucking straight woman like dreams about a gay BFF, and Ty's the gay BFF. I want them all to be assigned because they think he's just gonna be like, yes, queen. He's like, that makes you look fat.
Oh my god, he did that to me, dude. He's so funny because we'll hang. I came out one day and I was like, yeah, I've fallen off the wagon with like working out and eating right. And he goes, well, honey, you had to be on the wagon first to fall off. I was like, you son of a bitch.
That's exactly Ty in a
Yeah.
nutshell. So
Totally.
it's funny too that he points things out and says things in his voice, and that is taken as, oh my God, he's totally saying that this is the worst thing. Like even Sam was talking last night, like, it's not worth it to, burn bridges over like $100. I was like, yeah, but he wasn't bitching about getting paid. He was just like, yeah, some people aren't funny. They're getting spots.
Well, a lot of
Yeah, he was like, I didn't say that I don't like Kim Congdon. I just said she doesn't do well at the mothership. These are facts. Like, these are just facts.
And it sounds like, and because like I have the horse in the race, I'm just like,
Yeah.
I like both of them. I have
I like them
and
both.
so-
I like them both, but I would also like. This is the thing is,
but as much
I
as
like
it's-
him. I
it's-
like Sarah Wineshake, but I would never say Ty's lying. Like I would never, because I've seen them all do bad, and I know that that's possible, right?
I've
like,
actually never seen Ty do bad.
I've never. No, I mean, I meant the women. Not
Have you seen
Ty.
Ty do bad?
Yeah.
No, I've never seen Ty do bad.
See, and
I've
that
seen-
should be,
Bro,
and
so
that should be the
no,
precipice.
not-
That
not
should be what it's judged
All right,
on.
'cause
It's a
you're throwing lot of big words
meritocracy.
out here. Like,
I've never seen Ty do bad.
Matter of fact, I've seen Ty go into rooms where everone has done bad and be
Yes.
the only good comedian because
what I
he
was gonna
just
say.
literally flips
What
the
more do
table
you
on the
need
audience.
to get paid?
That
Right.
well, that obviously you would think that would be the most important thing in comedy, but
I thought it was a meritocracy.
right. Well,
What do you play in this character where you act like you don't know that it's not?
I mean, I don't know. That's
I thought it was. I thought this was America.
What do you
This is
mean?
new patriotic Nick
What do you
Romero. I thought
mean?
this is goddamn America.
I grew up in Vault 33.
yeah. That's 100% what it is.
It's that was a nerd joke.
I don't know what that is, so-
apologize.
Yeah,
You
no,
guys-
it's a video game thing.
I'll let you guys have that. It's okay.
You know, your students would have got the reference.
You know, I don't
They
think
probably wouldn't.
so. If they would have, they wouldn't have needed a tutor. So
You weren't tutoring them though, were you?
I was.
Do tutors
In
get in
what?
trouble if they fuck the students? Has that happened yet?
No, because they're of age.
Oh,
I had a
okay.
student ask me out. I had a few students ask me out, and I was like, "Get out of here!" You're
When you were a
retarded."
grenade or when
when you were a grenade.
Yeah, they only did that because the script
You should
made
fucking
them.
talk. I might be a grenade, but you're like an H bomb over there.
Hey.
How about you chill out over there, fat
Hold on.
boy?
I like how you said that as if Carl would take
I used
being
past tense.
I like how you said that as if Carl would take being feared by an entire nation of Japanese people as an insult.
Well, he already would walk through, and they'd be like, "King Kong." Oh.
Godzilla. God damn it.
Whatever.
How are you tutoring?
I don't have to tutor them on pop culture.
Well, I mean, listen,
Oh, so be.
I also said were. Okay.
Whatever. I'm still gonna get offended at it.
Oh,
Man.
man. Yeah. Who cast that? I'd like to play a grenade in something.
I was in it. If it makes
I
you
don't think
feel
they're doing
better,
film anymore.
I was in a thing called the Red Tide Massacre where I was actually a Sasquatch.
What? That's funny. I like that. You very good character for you.
I was in a show for the Food Network and I played a guy named Josh Denny, who is just a big fat fuck who travels around the country and eats everything.
I heard
What
that was a good
We
show.
said Sasquatch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing. It was. I always tried to.
People always
honor
trying to
Harry and the
debate whether or not
Hendersons.
it existed.
Yeah. People are like, can't even find this show anymore. It's like, yeah, they took it off
It's
the
like-
air.
It's a Bigfoot for real.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad they're not making any more money off you.
No, it's not. First of all, I think they're real hurting from not having my show. But the thing that annoys me is that they took it down as if I like murdered a bunch of people.
Oh, my
like
God.
even my episode of Beat Bobby Flay is deleted. And what sucks is my buddies from Jimmy's Famous Seafood were on it and won, and so like they lose that promotional credibility because they don't like me. And it was a good episode too. Like
Had lobsters and shit on
yeah, it was all they had to make like a ginormous seafood sandwich as the final thing, and
it. Like a lobster roll.
yeah, and then I think I think Bobby beat him. I don't remember how it ended. I'd love to watch it, but it doesn't exist.
Gay.
I'm sure somebody downloaded it.
Yeah, I don't know what people
somebody's got
58 and older are gonna do with themselves.
Hey, what would you
Yeah.
guess that Nick is? If you had to
Age-wise?
guess? No. Like ethnicity.
Uh,
Yeah, I'm curious.
are you some kind of American mutt, like German, Irish?
No, literally guess.
That's what I'm doing. German, Irish.
No German.
Don't say anything.
A little bit of Italian.
No, I get that a lot. I get Italian.
No,
a
he's
lot.
Mexican.
I'm not Mexican.
He's not Mexican. Spaniard.
Spanish.
Yeah.
Spanish and
God, I knew
Irish.
there was a reason I didn't like you. My ex-husband was from Spain. He was like a 5'7" Spanish leprechaun, and he would have this high-pitched voice, and he'd be like,
And you married him?
ugh, God, I know. I was retarded, dude. I remember I was a grenade. So
Damn.
I was 25 and stupid, and I had no experience because I grew up in this super conservative home. So I didn't date anybody because I was like, my mother was like, from 5 years old, she's like, just so you know, if you ever do anything with a boy, your father will kill you. I was like, I don't even like boys, mom. And that was my mantra from like 5 to like 23.
Because I was
Wow.
gonna say we couldn't I wouldn't guess Albanian unless you said that. Right?
Yeah. I mean,
Because a lot of them look,
So you just hate Mary. That's your thing.
I what?
So you hate Mary. That's your thing.
Marrying?
Yeah, you said you were married, right?
Yeah.
To this guy?
Yeah.
I said, so you hate Mary. That's
that's like
your
a
thing.
hate fuck.
Oh, I married him.
Yeah.
No, I just didn't know any better.
Okay.
Yeah, and I had super low self-esteem, and I was like, this 5'7" fucking faggot is gonna be the only thing I can get. Like, take what you can get, bitch.
I'm just saying, aren't the Albanians are the
people that
human
sold
trafficking
people that sold plutonium to Doc Brown, right?
the Liam Neeson taken people.
The Liam Neeson taking people. Yeah, I mean that.
Oh, those are the Muslim Albanians.
Well,
There's a difference.
they're just they don't really have a religion. They're just those people.
We like money.
Listen, there's a huge segment of Albanians who not a huge segment. In Europe they stand out because they're the most criminal out of. Well, I wouldn't even say because you got the Russians and everything like that, right?
But even the Russians contract shit out to Albanians that they don't want to do.
Well,
right?
because they've been totally demoralized by communism. They were totally demoralized by communism and thrown into abject poverty, and then that led a huge segment of them to become criminals. But those people are not accepted by the Albanian community. Those people are like, we don't want to be associated with them. So it's not, we're not like the Jews who are like, bring the pedophiles back to Israel. We'll protect you. We're just like, get rid of these people.
They say that?
Well, Israel is like the #1 home for pedophiles. Like a bunch of Jewish pedophiles will get caught here and then they'll flee to Israel.
Because they have dual citizenship, right?
Well, also because they're protected over there.
Yeah.
Go look it up. Israel has the highest.
Or because
to Vatican, you see. We do it better than you.
By the way, this fool told you, he was like, yo, Carl goes to Latin mass. I don't. I go to regular Catholic mass.
Yeah.
I thought you went to Latin mass.
Yeah. I made the mistake because it was just filled with.
Dude, he said that. I go, I don't go to Latin mass.
Well, I assumed it was Latin mass.
I go, my
filled with
priest is
Latinos.
Latino.
Were you raised Catholic?
I was.
Okay.
And then most of my adult life, I was like a practicing atheist.
And then what happened?
I rekindled my faith.
Nice. But what did something happen?
Well, there was a couple of things that happened. I was in a car accident.
Oh, wow.
I was.
And you were saved by an imagined dragon.
Yeah, literally the Dan Reynolds, the lead singer of Imagine Dragons, pulled me out of the car. By the way, he is like 6'4" and shredded.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like he ran down the.
Yeah, he's a real
rain
beast.
outside. That fool's a superhero.
You got rescued by the hottest guy in the world.
And that's it was funny because I told this before when we first started our pod, but he was like being super nice and trying to, because like my car just flipped outside of Vegas.
Oh God.
Right. And he's trying to ask me these questions about consciousness questions, like, hey, what's your name? Blah, blah. Like, so he's doing it. He's like, okay, what's your name? Carl? I'm Dan Reynolds. He was like, you like music? I was like, well, yeah. It's like, I'm the lead singer of the band Imagine Dragons.
I love how he saves your life and he needs you to know who he is.
And I was like, oh, do you guys fucking see?
How funny would it be if he starts asking you cognitive questions? You're like, I'm waking up. I'm feeling Russian.
I really was like, I had like,
he's like, okay.
At the time, and I didn't know this, right? And like, they didn't, in like waiting for an ambulance and all that stuff, they like put me in somebody else's car, like move me, because like they're like, your
no
engine
longer
might
fit in your own
explode.
car.
And I was trying to tell him, but I really couldn't because I was out of it. I was like, it's just cold and rainy. It's just steam. Like, I want to be like, it's not gonna blow up.
Yeah, but they wouldn't have trusted you anyway. You just hit your head.
Yeah. So they put, but I was like telling them, I was like, listen, I have plenty of concussions. I'm fine.
Yeah.
And
the damage is done.
Listen, I'm plenty retarded. This is my normal state.
Exactly. So they put me in the side of somebody's Prius.
Well, you can't fit in a Prius.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Right. So like, I'm literally like
I don't fit
hanging
in a
out the
Prius.
side of somebody's like Prius, and they like sat me down. Come to find out later, like when I went to the hospital, I had 3 broke ribs.
Oh, geez.
I had this, it's like a hairline fracture in my vertebrae. There's like, but it basically because I landed and like I broke one of my teeth back here.
Oh, man.
And but Dan was cool as fuck.
That's awesome.
And this other dude who jumped in, who pulled over and stuff, was
you
a guy.
You just go, what band do you sing for? He's like, I don't. And you're like, get the fuck out of here. This is a pretty velvet rope emergency now.
Dude, this guy topped it.
Oh yeah, you told me this.
This guy's name was Kane Vincent Dyer, and I know his full name because we're now like friends. And this dude,
First of all, appropriate response when people save your life.
First of all, he had like $1 million smile, and he was like racially ambiguous. And it's a noticeable thing because I'm like, this guy's like a shrunken version of The Rock or something, right? And he's like helping me. Like both of them are like dude, Dan called FaceTime my mom and shit. Dan
Oh,
Reynolds.
wow.
Yeah, dude. Awesome shit. So this dude, Kane, you can pull him
I'm
up.
pulling him up. Yeah.
So what's significant about this guy? You're like, well, how does he top the lead singer of one of the biggest fucking rock bands in the world? I'll tell you, he was turned himself in for being he robbed 72 banks.
That's awesome. I like that.
He was known as the Kangaroo Bandits.
Not so racially ambiguous now.
But dude, see, look, he robbed 6 banks out of desperation. Then he got greedy. So this dude's story, first of all, he's like, hey, do you know who that is? It's Dan Reynolds. I go, dude, what the fuck? So, but this dude was cool as shit. And he started telling me a story too. I took
one of the most
lunch.
prolific bank robbers in the history of the United States.
Yeah, dude.
And is now a motivational speaker.
How
Yeah,
weird
dude.
all these people were in the same
He's like,
place
would
at
you
the
like to
same
rob
time.
a bank?
Oh, yeah,
I
Las
can show
Vegas,
you
dude.
how.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
It's like 60 miles outside of Vegas. He was on his way to see his daughter. Dan is a former Mormon who, you know, Imagine Dragons, anybody knows about them. And like they left the church and he has that sort of turned his back on the church sort of thing. But Mormons are weird. So I feel like if Dan
Mormons
were
are
to
like
grow-
a cult, dude.
yeah, so he grew up in that. Dude, his wife and kids were in the car. It was wet out, dude. It was like and while we were there, pulled over on the side and like the ambulance finally attended to me and all that stuff, another car went off the road.
Whoa.
The same spot. Fucking crazy. I don't know, shit like that
But
brought me back to.
that made you start thinking like, hey, I should go back to church or something.
And then from that, it was probably then like the pandemic happened and it was like a 4-year process, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
And I had back surgery in 2020 during the pandemic.
Oh.
And it was just like, it's funny. I played football for however many years, nothing. I got a spinous process fracture back here, all types of shit. Never had knee surgery, I fucking was in a basketball league doing yoga, survived a car crash. And then I was getting my mail one day in North Hollywood. And I was just like, what the fuck was that? And it just, my whole sciatic nerve, like all the way down to my calf. I was like, God damn, that hurts. And then it just kept getting worse and worse for like a week. It was like the worst pain I ever had. It was just like a piece of my vertebrae had just like finally just sat on that piece of nerve and like pinched that, and it was like broke off. So I had
That was right before you moved into our building.
yeah.
Or as some people think, my other spare bedroom. A lot of people like your fucking roommate who co-hosts your podcast. It's like we live next to each other like Seinfeld and Kramer. We're not roommates.
Yeah. I'm Kramer.
Yeah, you're clearly the Kramer.
But
You're clearly
always-
George.
I'm Newman.
Dude,
I am
he
Newman.
is- yeah.
We're more like Kramer and Newman. I'm just over there like, pizza's coming.
No, he really is Newman in the sense that people can't remember when Jerry got with the girl who was like Newman's ex-girlfriend.
Yes.
He was like, how the fuck were you with Newman?
How did you used to fuck Newman?
Yeah, that's like everybody when they meet his girl.
Yeah.
Oh, that
Yeah,
makes sense.
she's
They're
so much
like-
better looking than me that when people meet her, they're like, "Are you okay?"
Dude, we went
Is
to
this
a
like
thing.
a Nexium
We
sex
went to a
cult
thing
thing?
that she was working at.
I'm glad
to
to know
show
I'm
it-
not the only one who likes ugly men.
Dude, we went to
Whoa!
we went to a thing.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you don't have to.
Cute, pudgy men. I don't like fat guys.
I've blown by Pudgy long ago.
I'll go-
Pudgy's my new
I'll go
goal.
for skinny and ugly.
There you go, Nick.
Yeah.
Oh, too pretty. Too pretty.
You're not a
I don't
man
know
in the
about
thing
that.
over there.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, you're not ugly enough.
Not ugly enough.
Not ugly enough because I saw your hair.
He's
You
what
have-
he's what
That's
we
why I wear
consider
the
a hot
hat.
guy.
You have
I was
good
like, I gotta
hair.
impress this gal.
Yeah, by being I gotta make
Like,
myself
I gotta
uglier.
schlub it up.
Isn't that what that's what they do? Like conventional hot guys.
Yeah.
They like go out of their way to ugly themselves up.
Right, but we wouldn't say Nick is conventionally hot.
I mean,
He's
Well,
Middle-
I think
middle.
it depends on the part of the country you're from because Nick is the guy that like I
if there's a
did-
pack of hoes over there, we're sending Nick.
Yeah, I did
right. Well, that's
yeah.
that's
And that's
because
conventional.
that's
Yeah.
because you're traveling in a pack of comedians, so standards go out the window.
I mean, if we were just like in Echo Park and I was just like, there they go get them.
Yeah, but like Nick
I'd be
is
too
like,
scared to talk to any of them.
But
though.
Nick is
See?
like
Yeah,
hipster
right.
tabooed.
Come on, Nick.
Yeah,
He's
That's it.
That's he's playing his part. He's
He's-
like he knows his role.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd be so intimidated
I'd
to
be
be
so
around all those
intimidated.
strong women.
Leonarda scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, well, that's because
But it's for a good thing. But
But
it's
that's
because I
because she-
respect her.
no, it's no, it's because hold on, it's because you have to respect her because you know your bullshit witchcraft sorcery doesn't work on her. Your
Yeah,
whole,
she could
your
probably
whole
beat
show
you
up.
up.
Yeah, your whole
No,
show
I'll,
up
tell
and just
tell
be
you the
like,
truth, man. When I reached out to you, I was like, and I told you the truth. Like, I'm a big fucking fan of yours. Like a
Oh.
big fucking fan of hers. I think, and I'll say this. I mean, there's women out here that I think have potential to be fucking great,
Name
but
one.
they're too afraid to get vulnerable and say the thing. But I think you are the standard of what a fucking female comedian is supposed to be.
yeah.
Oh,
Period.
thank you.
And
I-
that's just
That's
the
why we're all
truth.
campaigning for you to move here.
Remember, he said female comedian, and you'll always be that.
All right.
Well, no,
right.
yeah,
You
I'm just
know,
kidding.
that's funny. I don't really see myself as a female comedian. I
Well,
just see
that's
myself
because
right.
the
That's
rest
good,
of them are
because you
so
are.
bad.
Right. There's a lot of dudes out here that are definitely female comedians.
Yeah, I agree with that.
They're fucking.
There's a lot of men
faggy
who
out
are
here.
female comedians,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they just, for me, that what that means is that you're not willing to
Be vulnerable. They
well, you're
care
not
about
will-
being cool instead of being
you're
funny.
not willing to go
That's
against
the
the
gayest
tribe.
thing. Like the gayest thing ever. Like
You forgot your number.
yeah, I did forget my own number. I was like, who am I? I don't know. It's the thickest one.
I told
It's
you.
the biggest
I
number.
told you mnemonic devices. 4 for fatty.
Yeah. Well, I'll never forget it. No, I was, because I'm booking some stuff for some other comedians now and helping them, with their tours. I'm constantly combing stand-up websites and looking at like who's up there. And I see some of these guys who we know from our local scenes headshots, and I'm like, who are you selling? Like, you're not this cool guy that the photographer told you to be in this fucking picture. Like,
Yeah.
That's funny.
your picture is literally like you like this, like, oh fuck. And it's like you're a comedian. Like, that doesn't mean do the Chuckle House slapstick headshot, but like, how about just the normal fucking picture? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I mean, and I have headshots from when I was in my 20s, and I was like, I want to look cool as a comic.
I mean, a lot of these
get me
guys
holding the old timey microphone
That's so
like
funny.
a skull.
a lot of these guys want to be in movies and television, and I think it holds them back from being great stand-up comedians.
Yeah,
I
but-
do.
Yeah,
I think Sam says it, and it's like a fucking like ideology I've adopted is I don't want anything that anybody can take away from me.
Yeah.
So always gonna do it myself, build my own fucking thing, because when you have that and you have the support of people who are on the same page, there is nothing that they can take from you, so it doesn't matter where you go.
Well, they
with
took
it.
our word.
Yeah.
I want it back.
Well, I think we've commandeered it enough on this show.
You're a fan of words we can't say.
Yeah. All of them.
Do you have what's a word that you find offensive?
Grenade.
You know what word I find offensive? Pussy. I find
Really?
that. Yeah,
It's a
I find it
gross word.
offensive. I
On
don't.
You would
stage?
say that, you
No, no,
fucking
no,
like-
queer.
No. If you call somebody a pussy, that's fine. But I actually don't like crude humor
Okay.
at all. Like, I
That's
don't
because
like.
you're super conservative.
I
or
don't
grew up
know.
that way.
It just kind of. It's just like it's unnecessary. You know what I mean? Like, and I've done it before. Like,
I hate the word vagina.
Yeah.
Just like we're talking on stage though, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about when you do jokes where you're like, my pussy's like this, and I'm like, I don't fucking want to know.
Yeah,
It's
me either.
gross.
Tim Gaither calls it pudding, and it's fucking hilarious.
Pudding?
Yeah, pudding.
That sounds like a child
It's
trying to
so
describe
fucking
pussy.
funny.
Yeah.
I'm back in all of a sudden.
You would have
Yeah.
to back in if it was pudding.
So I think
I
that's
hate
that's the stuff I find
questions.
offensive. And then there's a show in Austin where they're like, it's like, I'm not even gonna name the name because I don't want anybody to see it, but it's like,
Drag.
it's so gross. They call it a comedy show, but it's every degenerate person on the left. Like, one time they had somebody smoke a bong out of a girl's vagina. Somebody got I think they got
I'm not with that
dildoed
shit.
on stage. It was so gross. And the thing is, they go so hard to be sexual that it becomes the opposite of anything actually
Right.
sexual. Like, it's kind of crazy. It's like they get so obsessed with sex in this way that they sterilize it from any of the
Yeah.
true, like, like sexuality
So now
really
you're like,
is.
oh, dude, missionary's fucking hot. Dude.
But that's what I mean.
Well, that's what I mean. We're getting to a point where the most taboo thing is going to be actual intimacy.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's what it is. It's like it doesn't have any actual intimacy. It's
Yeah.
a show.
It lacks
It's-
true vulnerability.
Well, it's also like this way of being like, look at how outlandish I am. And I'm like, you have no true connection to sexuality. You're up there in leather chaps right now in a whip. And I've never seen anything less sexy than that.
Yeah.
It's just gross.
It's honest. This is one of the funny things too about, he said that they all want to be on TV and stuff, right? It's just like the people that are running TV are 27-year-old college graduate girls, right? And
are they? I
yeah.
thought it was a bunch of Jews.
Yeah, well, daughters.
What did I say?
They're the ones providing the funding.
Yeah.
But the people who are like in charge.
So like, who's like the head of comedy at something? It's probably some 29-year-old fucking liberal arts white girl, and
they don't know comedy.
You see the A&R reps,
well,
and they're all like
his,
23-year-old guys.
So like one of the shows that came on in recent years was the one with the chick from Schitt's Creek, and it was like a sitcom. It was like to make fun of King of Queens, but she was like killed her husband or whatever. What's the girl from Schitt's Creek?
Not Catherine O'Hara.
No, the girl.
I don't know. I don't know who that is.
That's the daughter, right?
I don't know. It's not like you have a computer and you can look it up.
Yeah, we look up every other.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize
Anyways,
that was
so
the
point of that show, was to make fun of the fact that like women, especially these young feminists who didn't even watch TV or enjoy it, were saying that all the tropes on TV is just like these fat guys who could get a sitcom, these fat dudes where the wife is super hot. Annie Murphy, that's the actress.
Kevin can fuck himself.
Yeah. So the point of this show was to be like, why do they always make it like some fat Kevin James guy gets this hot girl?
Yeah.
And I go, because that's actually realistic.
Yeah, it's true.
And this dude is a perfect example, bro. Like when you first meet his girl, like Gavin came over and all this shit.
Oh, that
Anybody
was the
meets
funny.
over.
Gavin meeting her was the funniest thing
It
ever.
is literally
It was
like
like
the scene from The Other Guys where Mark Wahlberg meets Will Ferrell's wife, and he goes, "Seriously, who
Played
is
by
this?"
Ava Mendes.
Yeah, it's Ava Mendes. He was like, "Who is this?"
Who,
He was like,
who the fuck is that?
he was like, "Oh, that's the old ball and chain." And he's just like, no, seriously, who is that? He was like, "That's the wife. I know she's very plain Jane, but like all that shit is," and you see it happening, and so they get these show ideas and they tell them this is how you should look, this is what ideal we're pushing. Fat straight guys who get hot girls, that's over with. So people who even do chubby guy stuff don't do that anymore, or have a certain unique look that think they can be funny and be in anything.
Dude,
and
let me
ring any bells.
Dude, let me. You're bringing up Floor Hog, which is a great example because he just posted a clip the other day. It was one of the funniest fucking jokes I've ever heard.
I was gonna say this.
Where he literally has a bit, and I'll probably butcher
about
it. But
40-year-old girls.
He goes, you know, when you start dating 40-year-old girls, you know, it's different than dating 20-year-old girls. Like it's the difference between buying a used car and a new car. When you're buying a new car, it's like, listen, this is my baby.
Bring her
And
back fast.
if you fuck it up or hurt it in any way, I'll fucking kill you. And he goes, a 40-year-old car, he's like, listen, it's gonna make some noises. Okay? You know, but it gets great mileage.
Just take it.
It has a few dents in it. What is it gonna take to get you in this today? And I was like, dude, it's such a brilliant joke.
Talking about their fathers.
Yeah, well, and also talking about like, you know, how fathers, like at 20, they think their daughters are sacred, and by 40, they're like, listen, I don't know what's wrong with her. It makes a couple noises on the turn.
That's funny. that was
so good.
That's so spot on, because my dad's gotten to his point, because before he'd be like that, like, you remember, oh, your father will kill you, and I was like, well, who's laughing now? Because I'm still single, bitch. You put the fear of God in me, and this is what you get. So
That is good.
So a couple years ago, my dad's getting to this point where he's like, I just you know, you don't even have to love them. Just have a baby. So we went to Albania like 2 years ago together, and they're trying to like introduce me to somebody, and this is my dad's sales pitch about this guy. He goes, look, he is not the most good looking guy. He's not very tall, probably not intelligent. You know, if you see him, you can look past him because he looks like everybody else, and he is not all his teeth are there. And but at the end of the day, look at you.
Oh my God.
Look,
And
what it
I was
is.
like, I looked at my dad and I was like, you know,
But
as,
that's who should be running television.
as tempting,
Yeah, that guy.
as tempting as this offer is, Dad, I'm gonna have to pass.
Yeah.
And I already had one of those. It was a
Remember
Spanish
I
husband.
did this?
Yeah.
At 25, I did that.
Yeah, and like I literally did this already, and I came to a place in my life where I was like, I would rather be alone than be miserable.
There
That's
you
it.
go. And well, what it is you intimidate a lot of men.
I do
You do.
intimidate.
You intimidate a lot of men,
Yeah.
but then real men.
No, I disagree.
Real men.
She intimidates faggots.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. I said a lot of men.
And by the way,
anyways, but let me finish.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, when people wonder what, like, if you just asked my girlfriend why you're with him, she would go, "Well, he's not a faggot,"
Yeah.
and that's enough.
Yeah.
Like it's a welcome change of pace, right?
Pretty much. I mean,
I was gonna say you intimidate a lot of men, but most men these days have softened because of the culture and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
absolutely,
But then real men swoop in and they're there for you and they're
Yeah.
ready for it, but they're kind of scary. They're a
oh,
little scary.
yeah, well, that's
They're
kind
kinda
of true because I
scary
did
dudes.
date a sociopath who was just like, I thought this was like a real man. He was like, I'm not scared. And then he turned out to be a sociopath, and I was like, that's why you're not scared of me, because you kill people. So what are you going to be afraid of? You
The
know?
sociopaths
Ryan the
kill?
Cool promoting you. You guys can follow Leonarda on Twitter.
Oh,
Leonarda.
thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Ryan.
Hold on though. Like going back to that, we went to an event that his
this
girl
is
was
funny.
working at,
Yeah, it's funny.
and we just like walked up to be like, hey, see what the situation is going on. And
Let me a friend.
yeah, and her coworker came up and she's like, oh hey, is this him? And she's like, no, that's my boyfriend.
Yeah, she went over.
And
She didn't
she
just go over and
literally,
go
like-
hi. She introduced herself and launched into talking to Carl as if this was her making the first impression on my girlfriend's boyfriend.
That's hilarious.
And I'm just standing there like, how long is she gonna go with this?
Yeah, and she was
Carl's
just like-
and Carl's just nodding through it, like,
And I was just like, oh,
Well,
let me
this
just
is
sit
the
back.
thing.
And then when she said, no, that's my boyfriend, the girl, she goes, oh. And she was just talking about you too. And I was like, and had pictures and everything. I was like, God damn.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
You know what? The thing is that I think a lot of people don't understand is women, we're not as visually oriented. We like a good looking guy. It's not like we don't, but I find that a lot of times the good looking guys are more obsessed with their own looks and being the girl than they are about being a man.
camera one, camera one, camera one, camera one.
What? Oh yeah.
I don't give a fuck about that.
You know, that they're so much more concerned with that they don't know how to be like a man to you. And so a lot of the dudes who don't really look that great, they know they don't, so they do other things, you know. They like work hard,
I
they
mean,
want
this
to
is-
provide.
This is the picture that a lot of people don't necessarily see of her that explains a lot.
That's
her.
why you guys are together.
That's me.
That's funny.
That's her. So we're not
That's a
too
good
far off.
picture.
Yeah,
That's not
she's-
her. That's her sister. So
Well, close.
that's a good picture. Nope, she'll kill you. Yeah, no, that's wow, it's amazing. She doesn't have a lot of photos on the internet. Mission accomplished, everybody. But yeah, she's
It's funny too, because I asked the question after that because it was awkward. I go, so why would you think that I'm her boyfriend?
And what did she say?
And she was like, I don't know. She's like, I figured he'd be tall. And he was like, I don't know. He's got brown hair. It was like,
He's like,
because she's Persian.
yeah. Well, a lot of times
And it's
opposites
just
attract.
like-
Yeah, she's a very attractive woman. Yeah.
Yeah, that's her.
I can see why people are shocked that you guys are together.
savage. I expect no less.
They both get shockingly beautiful women.
Yeah,
Both
so,
of you guys
So
do.
like, well, I don't think
Hold
it's
on,
a
no,
shock.
it's
for
not a
me.
shock. Carl's 6'8". I mean, he gets what he wants. Like,
Well,
or he'll take. Or
not
I
really.
think.
Not really, but I mean,
Yeah.
for the most part, it's I used to say this all the time. If I never got fine pussy, I'd be in the gym like 3 times a day.
Yeah. Same.
Right.
Same.
But because
I
I,
know.
do,
I wish-
you know,
yeah,
like
Yeah,
fucking,
I wish
Life's
fat
a roller
shaming.
coaster
I
after
wish
that.
fat shaming worked on me. I've never had a girl be like, "Ew, you fat fuck," and be like, "Yeah, good point." I literally will just.
I'm gonna change my life.
Yeah. This is. And it's by the way, it's because I don't have any like respect for them as a species of people at all. So like she's literally like, "Ew, you fat fuck," and I go, "Oh yeah." how much does this abacus add up to? And
I
she'd be
don't
like,
what's that?
abacus, you don't need to say ethnic slurs in front of me, fucking edgelord. And I go, okay,
I
well,
was gonna say that.
here we are.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a calculator.
Yeah. Original
That's-
calculator.
That's a Chinese calculator.
It's just a little. It's a little Chinese boy in the corner. This is the original Chinese
his
calculator.
name Abacus.
Yeah.
He's a Chinese boy.
And by the way, like,
he
you
can
know,
count to 50 on one hand.
and that's, I think, something that people don't understand is that particularly like immigrant women or women who have immigrant parents
Yeah,
have a different standard of masculinity than what American
we have an
girls-
actual
like,
standard of masculinity.
American girls think masculinity is like a Disney prince, and women from other countries are like, no, it's men who can raise family, who is not retarded,
Yeah.
who has an income, who is not pussy. Like, it's a completely different.
Sometimes they
completely
just
different thing.
sometimes it's just trading value for value.
Yeah.
Where they go, he has goat.
Yeah.
You don't have goat.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of
If
that.
you can produce goat, you don't have get married.
Yeah.
But until then,
Yeah. Until you can manufacture a goat.
your sister married goat farmer.
Yeah. She do it very good.
She's doing very well.
Why you not be like your sister?
Be like your sister.
Yeah.
She
Oh,
married
dude.
goat farmer.
Yeah. That is so the accent too.
And after this,
Yeah, when I met her mother the first time, she's like, "You are a comedian. What kind of doctor is that?" And then I go, "Well, you know, they do say laughter is the best medicine." She goes, "Oh yeah, you're a comedian. Meet my daughter friend."
that's when she goes, Patch Adams over here.
Yeah.
Wants to tell a joke to make cancer go away.
And do you remember how story end? Love of his life, boom, dead.
Stupid.
Dumb. Laughter best medicine does not defend against the rape.
And this,
Oh my
Oh,
god.
no,
No.
no.
No. Well,
Are you? This just hit a wall.
No, I don't think so.
we're taking a breath, you know. We're assessing things.
We're waiting for Sam to talk about the juice.
Oh yeah, now who don't have cardio, you fucking thins. Ugh.
Am I thin?
Look how excited you got. I mean, compared to me, I'm concerned. Somebody, you said, oh, it was you. You
I
said,
moved next door to you and got super fat.
I know, and I also got fatter.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
wasn't on a
it was
trajectory
me.
before you. Yeah, well, you don't help. Hold on a second. Don't act like you don't be hitting me up at 8:30 in the morning. I'm like,
That's
I cooked these
healthy, though.
ribeyes in it. Yeah, is it? I cooked ribeye
It's healthy to
sandwiches
eat
for breakfast.
breakfast.
Do you want a
It is healthy to
giant
eat
plate of
breakfast.
breakfast?
You hit me up at 3 in the morning.
You
Go on,
want ice
dude.
cream?
That's not healthy. I think
I don't do that all the
breakfast is
time.
better.
8 in the morning. He's like, I don't know, dude. I just woke up. I
Yeah.
go, yeah. That's when breakfast is.
Yeah, I gotta eat breakfast. I don't eat breakfast. I turn into a raging bitch.
I'm
Really?
a breakfast
Yeah,
guy.
and it's got to be protein
I haven't
too.
eaten yet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I haven't
Wow.
eaten yet either.
Nope, it's usually eggs and
Now who had breakfast? I had breakfast.
Who had breakfast?
I woke up and had breakfast. But
You-
for me, it's not like, I don't know. I'll get thin for the next special. You were like, you should fast a little bit. So, listen, no one's going to know. If I drop 20 pounds tomorrow, nobody's going to
That's
notice
right.
by Monday. So,
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would notice 20 pounds.
I would notice.
Not a
But
drop of-
people
nobody wouldn't fucking, nobody would be like, wow, he really slimmed up for this special. Like, nobody would say that. I'll be fat for this one and I'll be less fat for the next
what do
one.
you think? What do you
And
think
it
you gotta
makes
do?
sense.
Like
I-
60?
And you
No.
have dropped a lot of weight though.
No,
and that's
no.
Well,
Well, I
I-
picked it back up.
I did. I was getting reps in. Yeah, I dropped, but like I can drop it very easily. It's not hard. It's not hard. It's sticking with it that's hard.
it's
like
the desire
knowing-
to.
Yeah, it's also the why am I doing this? Like so this
I gotta do this tomorrow.
this special is about death. The next special is about obsession with self-improvement. So it actually, from a thematic standpoint, and I'm sure I'm going to get roasted into oblivion for even saying this, but
Thematic standpoint. I'm a real man.
no, from a thematic standpoint, it makes sense to save the weight loss for the next hour.
Sure.
of the
Is that what you
special.
tell yourself when you could just keep doing ice cream at 3 a.m.?
No.
You're like, it doesn't fit the thematic standard of this
I have a-
special
I
that
have a
I'm
list.
doing at the moment.
I have a list.
Well, you sound pretty gay right now, so I'm trying to.
Yo, first of all, I'm the ice cream guy.
Yeah.
I'm like, If it came down to like sweets and stuff,
Yeah.
I'd be like, yo, let's do that. And he's just like, oh, it's funny because sometimes I'd be like, how are you fat?
Yeah,
It's
because
like
sweets are the ones. Sweets are
no,
my
dude, I will make
fucking
food
Achilles.
and he'll eat some of it.
Yeah,
And
I'm
then
not,
be
I
like-
don't pig out.
And he'd be like, I was like, there's all a bunch of food up there. He's
Dude,
like,
it's
"I'm good."
it's literally just the lack of activity. Like I fucking, I'll start working on shit at the computer at like 8 a.m. and then I look up and it's 2 p.m. And it's like, oh, there went my morning, my day. Now I have errands to run. I have shit to do. I don't have time to get a workout. And I mean, these are all excuses.
Yeah, they are. You could find
You know
time.
what I mean? Like it's about prioritizing and making time. And quite frankly, like I don't care.
Listen,
Like,
if I didn't have a dog, I wouldn't go anywhere.
I
to
know.
walk.
And now welcome to my world.
And no,
Welcome
here's
to
Get
the
a
my
thing.
dog. Get a
I
dog.
have a
Listen.
dog. I have a dog.
It doesn't need to walk.
It
No,
doesn't. It walks
just-
herself to the gym.
It annoys me all the time is what it does.
You have to cook all the meals for your dog.
Yeah, I have to feed
Same
it.
thing.
It's just we joke that if my girlfriend, if he and I both died in a car crash together,
She
And-
couldn't take care of my dog.
no, your dog would outlive my girlfriend. Like your dog would figure out how to work the stove before my girlfriend would figure out how to work the
That's
stove.
funny.
Like, and it's not an exaggeration.
No,
It's really like Winston could get up there and like
yeah, he would accidentally make breakfast before she would do it, learning and trying to make breakfast. Like,
she would like throw food.
I
at
mean,
him.
I swear to God, we literally
Ah.
have arguments where when I'm out of town on the road and I go, "What did you eat today?" And she's like, "I didn't." And I go like, "So you're just not going to eat?" And she's like, "Yeah, I don't want to spend money or do anything." And I'm just like, ugh.
So then you
If I
cook.
were there, I would hit you.
She's like, that's why I like you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
so-
threat of yo, that was funny too.
What?
The threat of violence.
Oh,
of,
yeah.
like why we're not. That shit cracked me up.
You need to
last
have
night.
the threat of violence because we're testing you all the time. And if there's no consequences for our actions, yeah, we're gonna cheat on you. It's like, what are you gonna do? Hit me? You already said you won't do that. So
You think that's why the Kardashians switched back to white guys?
no.
Well, they're not necessarily dating the most masculine black guys. Like Lamar didn't beat Chloe up.
He was a crackhead though.
Yeah, but he.
He was
It
too
doesn't
busy.
make him masculine.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
he's too busy getting cracked out.
Yeah, he wasn't.
I think
If he
I
didn't
think
have
if
crack, I
if he
bet he-
cracked her a few times,
I think the reason the Kardashians dated black guys, it was part of the psyop because they're promoting. If you look at all of Hollywood, just promotes race mixing. Everybody should be one ambiguous brown race, and then they use the
She's my Ava
Kardashians
Braun.
to make that whole thing popular. So all these young girls would be like, "Yeah, I want me to have a like."
But
baby.
doesn't that seem counterintuitive? Because if everyone looks the same, and this is why transgenderism and sexual identity is so important, because
What?
they've just listen to me. it's why the left is now pushing that, because they promoted race mixing for so long, and now racial identity isn't unique. And so you can't be like, well, I'm Mexican, I'm black, or whatever, because almost everybody is a little bit of a couple of things. So now they're like, now the new hack, the new victim mentality, the new label that gets you social credit is, are you gay? Are you trans? Are you whatever? Right?
Yeah, but how is that going to stop all of that by promoting it? Like, how is that? Like,
It's not about.
counterintuitive
It's not
for
about.
them?
They're just no. It's counterintuitive to continue to promote race mixing.
Oh no,
because-
I think they'll still do that. I think their whole point is they just want to get rid of white people. I just don't think that's they don't
Yeah,
care.
Well, they do
done.
want to eliminate whiteness, but
They totally do. And then that's the thing. Everything they do is so counterintuitive because racial diversity, the diversity that they want, actually comes from staying within your racial boundaries
in your culture.
and your culture. And they're like, oh no, here's diversity. Everybody's the same ambiguous mix of brown plus something. And I'm go, you don't
But
want
not us. In our country, we're not gonna mix so many people.
Well, that's what they're so upset about. And that's why they call you racist if you say you don't want to, oh, you're racist. I'm like, okay.
You know, that could be
Okay,
anti-Semitic.
now what?
Yeah.
It sounds a bit anti-Semitic.
Yeah,
if
race-
you don't want race mixing.
Race mixing sounds like you're trying to exterminate the Jews. Did you ever consider this?
Maybe.
This is amazing. That's why Jewish women give the best head, because that's as far as they're allowed to take it.
You're
With
so
a
dumb.
non-Jew. Yeah. No, it's the truth.
They do give some
amazing.
Firehead.
Okay.
Amazing.
I don't know. I don't know.
Leonarda doesn't like that.
I don't. This is so crude and gross. I hate this.
I hate this.
It's
and
disgusting.
we don't even do this normally.
I know. You're just doing it because I'm here and you know I'm uncomfortable.
No, we're doing it because Nick's here and he's uncomfortable.
Got quiet.
Nick got upset that you didn't say he gives the best head. It's like,
I haven't
who are
taken. I
these
haven't
Jewish
taken the
girls
test
who've
yet.
taken my job?
Yeah, I haven't taken the test yet. And I never will.
What if you put a wig on him?
I'd be hideous.
It would ruin it. Like, you know, if you're gonna fuck a Nick Romero, it's because you've decided that's the man you've chosen. You don't try to make him a broad. Like, what's the point of that? Just have sex with a chick.
I don't know, dude.
That's why I don't like the idea.
I thought that's
of,
why you're having sex with him.
No.
You're like, I want to see what it's like to have sex with a chick and a dude.
Absolutely
Is it a dude
not.
chick or a chick dude? I don't know, but it's got tattoos.
Yeah, but Nick's, other than tattoos, Nick's got none of the qualities I like in a woman and all of the qualities I hate in a woman. Like, Nick's got a lot of questions, a lot. I fucking hate that. If I got to do it over again, I'd get one who is allergic to asking questions. Like, I'd rather one that's just dumb and stares off into space. And,
No, you wouldn't. You'd get so
wouldn't.
bored.
You would get so mad.
yeah,
That's worse.
yeah, but I don't
The
know.
ones that ask
You get to-
questions,
you get to
they
hear-
actually have some sort of concern to still be there.
My favorite thing is, I would love to be a fly on Carl's wall while he's listening to what's happening on our side of the wall, because you have to just be laughing hysterically.
I told you
at
the one
things,
thing I
the
heard,
things
though.
that I get enraged about are just like,
I told you the one thing I heard, because sometimes I hear, like, I'll bring my dog up and their window is right there. Like, my front door is here and then one of their windows is here. So, like, I'll just walk up and sometimes I'll say random shit like Kramer just to, like, through the window. It's going down, Jerry. You know, shit. But I'll say, I'll hear him. And one day I just, like, opened the door and I brought him in and he ran in. I was like, taking my shoes off. And he just goes, yeah, because you're being a cunt. And no. Because when you say it like that, you're 100% being a cunt.
That's so
Yeah.
funny.
I hear little things like that all the time.
That's funny.
yeah, I don't deploy cunt. I use it like Jim Jeffries. I use it in just daily conversation where I'm like, well, that just sounds like cunt behavior.
Oh, that's what it. And then the other time I heard is like, don't just say fine
oh yeah,
to say fine.
yeah.
That
It's
sounds like you.
it's a conversation.
Yeah.
Oh, you
I'm
already
like-
got me pegged.
Yeah, that sounds
I'm
like you.
I'm hyper confrontational with passive aggressiveness like that.
Yeah, and
I'll
it's like, 'cause
say
then you're
it to
just
him.
being
I'll do it to him.
passive-aggressive.
Yeah, I'll do it to you. I'll be
And
like, I'm
what?
one of those people that I hate unspoken aggression so much that I will force another person's hand. Like, it made me successful in business, but it's also probably it's one of the few qualities of mine that I can understand that people don't like, because it forces them to confront themselves. Like, so, but if I'm sitting here and somebody has like a fucking cunt face and I can tell they're thinking something, I'm like, say it. Don't just sit. What are we going to sit here uncomfortable and waste minutes of our lives while you fucking contemplate? Like, you're just repressing this fucking desire of this thing you're
people
saying.
are being cunty when they're not.
No, I know exactly when they're being cunty.
I'm the
No,
same
This is a
way.
reference to earlier.
No,
Yeah,
you don't.
yeah. I know.
You act cunty and then think someone else is.
No.
A little classic case of projection.
No, it's not projection. I call it exactly like I see it. And by the way, like, it doesn't matter whether you think you're being cunty if I think you're being cunty.
It
Well,
does
let me
matter.
just say, I can see why she likes you.
Yeah. Creaming up over there, huh? She's like, wow, this guy
You
hates everybody.
You call me a cunt? Okay. I see this going somewhere.
There's also
You can just
there's
not be
like,
one.
I don't. Hold on. Go back to that.
Yeah.
What do you mean it doesn't matter?
No, I'm saying, like, when you're talking about human, this is going to get real Dr. Phil here, but
No, it's not.
when you're talking about having productive human relationships with people, whether they're friendships or business relationships or whatever, you don't get an opinion about how the other person interprets your behavior. If I tell you that I think you're being a cunt, you don't just get to go, no, I'm not, because that doesn't fix my perception. You have to go, well, I don't understand why you think that. Why do you think that? right? And then I go, well, because you came in and you were short and your fucking tone of voice was cunty and, you know, you were mad at the circumstances and you don't realize that I'm working on this. Like, you have to talk it out. You don't just get to go, I disagree. Right. That's an unproductive way to communicate.
Yeah.
Right?
And
Well,
it
here's the other side, though. The
Yeah.
other side is you're just gaslighting that person into telling you how your feelings should be validated.
No. If you ask me, why do you think that? I'll tell you.
Yeah, but
and
what
if
if the
I'm
concern
wrong,
is
you have to show me that I'm wrong.
But here's the thing. In business, in all that, it doesn't matter if I think you're being pissy or anything like this. There's a thing to handle. There's
Correct.
a task at hand.
Correct, which is
So
why
none of your
that
bit-
conversation
that-
didn't happen then, and we just moved through it.
No, I'm saying, like, if there's a task or something that has to happen, your feelings or how you felt, or if someone made you feel away from how they talked to you, is irrelevant.
I feel like something happened between you two,
No,
and you guys are just
I
trying
know,
to
right?
talk around.
No,
around it.
we're having the conversation now, and it wasn't a big thing, but it's
No.
like,
Seems like it kind of was.
no, it's not a big thing. No, this is the why women suck, is because you think two men clarifying where they're coming from is a big thing. It's
I
not.
was thinking, like, if you were trying to sell something,
Okay,
have a
first of
deal,
all,
right?
don't take a jab at women globally, because I'm telling you that you two have a fucking issue that you're trying to work out right now live on the podcast, and then you're pretending that you're talking in this general terms.
No,
See?
we're not.
General philosophies about how people just, what is it? What's the fucking problem? Talk about
Yeah,
it.
what
No,
happened?
There's no problem.
Okay, see what I mean? Now who's being a cunt?
No. No,
Touche.
it was literally just about, well, first of all, the problem wouldn't have arisen at all if somebody was on time to the fucking studio today.
So it's all my fault.
Well, no,
is
but
it?
you are the catalyst, right?
All
So it was all about you being late and him coming in and going, yeah, fucking give me her information and I'll communicate with her because you're trying to get the show going. And I just ignored it because I was focused on something else. And then he comes back again and goes, yeah, I told you to give me your number 10 fucking minutes ago.
I was sitting outside for 15 minutes. You guys told me to wait
See?
there.
Yeah. Okay. So
Either way.
bottom line is this whole thing could have been avoided if women could be on time to things.
Well,
So
first of all,
actually,
hold on. I'm going to bring this back because
nobody
you
was
guys,
projecting.
yeah. I mean, if
Cut-
you
cut to the cut
listen,
cam.
you wanted us to have the conversation.
This is the
Yeah,
cut
so
cam.
I'm gonna go ahead and say you bitches have dealt with women your whole life. So if you didn't budget that in your own thing, that's
But we
on you.
did.
That's
why
on
we-
you.
But that's why we didn't even care. That's why we told you there was no issue. And then-
Except apparently
No,
you're
no.
harboring resentments that are coming out for an hour. An hour. You know what? I don't care. Call me a cunt. It's like calling you racist. I fucking own it. What are you gonna do now? Your words don't mean anything.
It wasn't a generalization.
Now we're just pointing at
Yeah,
Nick
yeah,
for no
that's great.
reason.
That's great.
That's got to stay in forever. Look at that, Leonardo. You invented the cunt
cunt
cam.
cam.
I'm so
take.
happy that I'm creating history live on this
so
podcast.
beautiful. No, but it's fine. I mean, the other thing is like, but this is the thing is, we are the kind of guys. It's like we'll just have it out, and then it's not a thing. Like
I know,
we don't.
that is-
Nothing
that's actually-
That's why we were
festers.
saying
That's
it.
actually
Yeah.
really true about
But
guys.
both
Guys
of
will
us
do
were
that.
trying to tell you that it wasn't a thing.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
you kept pushing.
I feel like that's
What
how
are
you
talking about? You two
successfully.
were just talking back and forth forever.
That's
Right,
how
yeah.
you successfully cohabitate, man. is You got to go there.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
we share a wall, so.
So
Yeah.
oftentimes
We do get to go back to our separate domiciles.
Have you ever cohabitated? Like been?
Yes.
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 Do you
yeah.
remember the
Oh
marriage
my God.
conversation an
I-
hour ago?
Well, yeah. Well, I don't
Did
know.
she say I would live with a man and you tuned out?
They
It's
could
like,
have
well, it's
slept
not
in
me.
different
Well,
beds. I don't know her
she
culture.
did say
Yeah.
leprechaun, so he only came
Yeah,
every
he
once in a
did.
while.
Yeah, he only came around when a rainbow came up.
Fucking
I don't like
lived at
those
the end of
kinds
the
of
rainbow.
jokes.
Except instead of his Lucky Charms, he was looking for his jamon. Where's my jamon?
Really?
Well, because they love ham in Spain.
Do they?
Yeah, they're always about the jamon.
Is that what's in
But
the
I fail with cohabitating all the time. So, and it's because I did. It's because
like you lived in
It's
the
because they
zoo.
catch
Well,
you
it's because-
fucking other guys all the time.
it's because I disassociate and I fucking leave.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have it out.
Is
I
that
had-
what it's
I had a
called?
That's
crazy
because it's
fucking-
because of your history. Like you know that where things can escalate to,
Yeah.
What-
right? So you're like, let's just not let this go
If I
down.
hang
at
around,
all.
she's gonna beat
That's
my ass.
Right, exactly.
That bitch might put her hands on me.
I just need to leave. I'm going over Stevens. I don't
I'm
want this.
disassociating.
No wonder you're afraid of me. So women have beat you? Is that a thing?
Oh yeah.
Jeez.
I mean, it was
went back and forth.
mutual combat.
It was more like Floyd and Manny Pacquiao, back
Okay.
and forth, even
Yeah.
exchange.
Yeah.
Well, if a woman starts hitting a man, she's got to be prepared that she's going to get hit back. Like, I don't know why they.
I got no fucking opinion on that shit.
No, I think
Well,
you
he can't
marriage
legally.
proposal, perhaps.
Yeah.
Marriage proposal.
Yeah. Listen, I know you say she intimidates you, but this bitch can take it. So,
I don't really like physical abuse. I had enough of that in my life.
Yeah.
From the leprechaun.
Oh no! Come on, I could have taken him. So
Keep your
all I-
hands off me,
all
Lucky
I-
Charms.
all I would have to do is put my hand out, and he'd be like a kid that was swinging.
Is that what you used to do to the kids you tested?
Oh yeah, I'd be like, all right, just
yeah.
relax.
If you can beat my ass, I'll give you the answers.
She's that fucking tutoring fight club.
No, used to fight.
Yeah.
Use guys fight, and then use to get the answers.
Yeah.
Let's go.
That's funny.
Fucking Lord of the Flies tutoring
Dude,
over here.
That would be awesome.
One
though.
of you has to conch, everybody else is a faggot. Kill him.
If, did you ever have any tutoring? Were you a dumb kid?
I went.
You a dumb kid?
No, I went to tutoring. I went to tutoring because I didn't have any interest in school.
From who?
So they
The school made
I
you
got-
go to tutoring?
No. My
Your parents.
my dad. He was like, "We're sending you to this like learning center for 3 hours a day where you can't escape doing homework."
Is that your Irish dad or your Spanish
No,
dad?
my Hispanic dad. Yeah,
Interesting. They don't really care about school usually. So
yeah.
Hispanics?
Yeah, but he wasn't getting any of the girls pregnant, so they were
Not
like,
to school, motherfucker.
"What's you going to do with your life?
School, motherfucker.
If you're not coming in ladies and you're not a scientist, what did you do? You don't throw baseball? What did you do?"
Yeah, I didn't do well in school because I didn't have any interest. But then I went into independent studies and they gave me all the work at once, and I knocked it all out in 3 months and graduated like fucking 9 months earlier than everybody.
That's great.
humble brag.
I don't even know any of that shit. I played football.
Yeah, we know.
So they fucking, so we had in college, if you don't have like a 3.0 GPA or above, you have to go to study hall.
Okay.
Right. So like you'll have 6 a.m. workouts, go through the whole day, practice for 3 hours, maybe have a night class or whatever. And then after that, you have to go to study hall for like 2 hours. And then so I originally went to Temple University in Philly. And
Right in the black neighborhood.
yeah. So one of the
Yeah, it's just called Philadelphia.
one of,
Yeah,
North
but
Philly.
Temple's
Yeah, it's
in a
in
real
North Philly,
fucking
yeah.
bad part of it.
So one of the perks from being in study hall is just like random people will show up. And one night at study hall, we had 2 police officers come in, and they always come in all the time, like team cops. They'd always be like, and we're like, oh shit, somebody did something. But the 2 team cops came in, and right behind them was Bill Cosby.
What?
Yeah, because he was like a Temple great.
Alum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I wasn't a fuck around and just handled my business and went to school, I would have never met Bill Cosby.
Wow.
Like, so there was like 15 of us, and like the rest of the staff came in, and then that fool
And the
was cussing up
things
a storm. By
the things that Carl and Cosby went on to do after
Yeah, I was gonna say, if only he remembered.
yeah. It's just a shame I have no idea what we did.
That for 2 years.
Yeah, just a shame I have no recollection of what happened after he walked in.
Hey, Biggie, why don't you go shoulder bigger and swing him over your shoulder and hit the butt out? Throw the bitch down.
Yeah.
So Bill Cosby was like cussing up a storm, dude.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was one of the coolest things ever because like, he doesn't cuss. And then so all my teammates were like, do it. And I was like, what? Because they know I did like voices and all that shit. And I was like, no, this is Dr. Cosby. I respect him. And then like years later, you find out, he's a fucking rapist. I was like, I should have disrespected him.
Yeah.
I should have easily
You should
just
have
done
done
a
the voice.
terrible impression and fucking be like, doobity bop. But he
Yeah.
he
A lot of
talked to
people
the
are
whole
good
team.
sports. Like John Taffer's a good sport about your John Taffer impression.
Yeah,
He
is.
fucking he liked and retweeted it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People love to be impersonated. It's like it's a form of flattery. You know?
Impressions. Yeah.
Who-
Impersonation is where you
Taffer
like
likes
dress
it.
up as the character.
Yeah, Taffer likes it. I don't think PBD likes it because he has not responded to a single tag.
But he's seen
Of
somebody
any.
else. He posted a shitty impression of him. It was just somebody wearing a suit
Yeah.
who like talked how he would talk, like quoting him, but it wasn't like a good impression.
Yeah.
You know PBD, Patrick Bevitt.
I don't know.
He's a conservative guy. He owns Valuetainment. Oh, you say you seen Valuetainment?
No.
You don't know? This is him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't know that was his
PBD.
name.
Patrick
Oh, that
Van
guy.
He's cool. I like him.
Yeah. This is what you need to understand about this guy. Okay. He's very matter of fact, very business oriented, he's a minority owner of the Yankees. Okay. When Joe Biden starts talking
of mainstream media. You know what this policy is? Let me break it down for you.
Yeah.
Patrick Bet David,
founder and CEO of PHP, one of the top insurance firms in America.
Entrepreneur, author,
and the creator of Valuetainment on YouTube. Everybody knows him.
How many subscribers?
Patrick Bet David.
Patrick Bet David.
this is a very chaotic year 2024. So how do you
2024.
capitalize? And the fact that
How
we're
do we capitalize?
CBS,
What's
we're
his ethnicity?
ABC, we're
It's
such and such.
Iranian and a Syrian. They moved.
You know,
escaped
Iranians are the
refugee camp.
original Aryans. Did you
Yeah,
know
who do Albanians go to war with? What's like the
Turkish.
that? The Turks, not anymore, but the Turks, the Serbs are their number one enemy.
You guys get
Okay.
along with the Armenians, though, right? Because you hate the Turks.
I don't know.
Well, at least the Christian
we don't really
Albanians.
know each other so much. The Armenians and the Albanians, they're pretty removed from each other geographically.
You guys are like Kosovo and shit, right?
Kosovo is originally Albanian territory.
Are you guys
which,
white? What is it?
You know, that's up for debate on the
important,
internet.
the important questions, Nick. I like to get down to.
Yeah, obviously they're
Are
white.
you with us?
They're
or
mountain.
against us?
They're mountain Eastern Europeans.
Yeah, genetically they're white. Obviously, it's a Mediterranean culture. People try to put them as Slavic, but they're not Slavic. It's a
Right.
it's not that at all. They're-
Closely related to Greek. And actually, so you're Eastern Orthodox?
I converted to Eastern Orthodoxy, but I was raised Muslim.
Really?
Wow, really?
Yeah, I was.
How was that?
Carl just
well,
started.
then I turned 16 and realized I was white. and
You're
I
like,
was
I'm taking
I
this
gotta-
sheet off.
I gotta go off. Well,
It's hot to be
the-
that religion.
the thing about Albanian Muslims is they're just culturally Muslim because it was forced on them by the Ottoman Empire,
Right.
and so they've never been like, we love being Muslim. So like if somebody gets a little too Muslim, like they start wearing a burqa or their beard gets too long,
What did you do?
yeah, all the Albanians are like, what did you are stupid. This is what are you go to Turkey? Go to Turkey.
We don't do all the way. Okay, what you go, buddy.
Pretty
You
much.
you go too far with these.
Yeah, they're just
Do
like,
this.
we're going to not eat pork.
Go to
That's
Target.
it. That's all we give you. We're gonna drink raki, which is their like Albanian moonshine. We're gonna drink the raki on Ramadan because we celebrate the end, and that's it.
I like that. It's like lazy Islam.
They totally are.
Lazy
Yeah,
Islam.
which is the only other kind other than boom. Like there's the two kind. There's
Yeah.
Islam and then there's not really doing Islam.
There,
Those are the two kinds.
but so it's a mostly Muslim country. Correct?
It's
Like that's the
I
dominant
think
religion.
so. I think that's the dominant, and then there's a big segment that are Catholic, and then a small segment that are Orthodox.
I want to know what your parents think about you doing stand up.
Well, my mom loves it. My dad doesn't know.
Your dad
He doesn't know?
I don't tell him a lot of things.
I don't internet.
Yeah, he doesn't
I
internet.
don't internet.
He just found out how to do email, and I think as soon as he finds out that I'm stand up, like, why you do this to Dad? You are so smart. You could do
Leonarda,
anything.
how are you going to get husband all this talk?
You are so smart.
All this right in your mouth.
You
It's-
why you no be lawyer like Daddy tell you 20 years now you throw everything away? You
It's so-
embarrassing.
You know what's so funny is that we even said this when Dick Masterson was on the show, and even Sam Tripoli. We said that growing up, our dads would say that we're going to be lawyers because
Yeah.
we could like talk.
Good
a lot and
arguing.
shit.
We're
Yeah.
good arguing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like we all ended up being comedians.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, my dad really tried to push that. He was like, "You got to be a lawyer." And he goes, "You're going to be a lawyer, and then you're going to become ambassador to Albania, and then you will unite the broken tribal lands of Albania, make country great, and I will be proud to be your father."
Wow.
Oh my God.
Parents really are
And then you
high
should
on their
be
own
like,
shit,
Dad,
aren't they?
You should be
Oh
like,
my
Dad,
God.
how am I
Parents are
supposed to
just like-
find a husband and
Yeah.
all this?
Also, like this is it's so funny because I did grow up with like probably till like age 9 or 10 and be like, wow, my dad really has these unrealistic expectations. And I just remember one day going like, yo, you didn't graduate high school.
That's the thing. I'm like, why didn't you
who
do
the
it?
fuck are you to have an expectation? Your goals for me should be not to join the military and not to get the first woman I fuck pregnant with 3 kids.
Yeah, that's funny.
Like those should be your 2 goals. Those are the only goals you get. Everything else, why don't you just? I'll handle
It's a
it from
bonus. Everything else is a bonus.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, take it down a few notches. Stop wanting so much for us.
Yeah, that's the problem.
But baby, I just want you to be happy.
Yeah.
I want you to
be
be
happy.
find husband, don't talk a lot, and be lawyer and
Well,
save the world.
Well, there's not so much to ask for a daughter to become Christ-like savior of other people. What you can do? Well, you're lazy. This is the problem.
You have so many. That's the thing. It's always like a double hit. It's like a backhanded compliment. They're like, you have so much you could do. You had talent. You had intelligence. You even had presentation. But now you're stupid.
Presentation. And now you want to tell pussy joke.
Why are you embarrassing me? You're embarrassing the family. Get out.
Yeah, nobody knows who you are.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
like
pretty much.
nobody knows. That's the thing.
You
It's
know
like,
what that name means? I'm like in a plot of 200 people. I am number one. Okay.
yeah. I mean, like the problem with fathers is that they don't like. They should just milk the fact that we are their biggest fans for as long as they
As
can.
long as they can.
Because as soon as we go out in the world and be like, oh, my dad isn't shit, like compared to the accomplishments of other, like honestly,
are you black?
My dad, no,
dad
pretty much,
ain't
yeah.
shit.
I'm spiritually
It's just like,
Negro.
look, they should do, all they need to do is root for us, be on the sidelines.
Yeah, well,
and
my
then
dad,
not grow up, my dad ain't shit.
My dad's qualifications are like a shitty black father who's like, listen, I raised my kids. It's like, well,
Dude,
yeah,
that was my dad.
that's
dude.
all you're
He was
supposed to
like,
do.
you
Right? That's-
owe me. He would come over and be like, I don't understand. We're not bad parents. We don't drink. We're not the alcoholic.
We don't molest you. What you don't do.
We raise you, feed you. What else do you want? And I was like,
If
okay.
anything, you owe me millions of dollars. I don't understand why you act so spoiled.
Yeah.
You have 2 eyeballs.
I did
You
not
have 2 ears. Your nose, it works. You are not so fat.
Oh, dude, that was the best part. When I told my dad I wanted to be an actress, it was so funny. I'm like, all these American parents like support their kids. I'm like, that's why your kids are trans now. My dad would be like, I was like, I want to be an actress, and my dad was like, okay, how are you going to be actress and you're fat? This is like somebody want to be athlete, he has no legs. You don't think, first of all, let me get myself in the shape to be an actress? Now you're going to be whore and they're not going to be big movies that's going to fuck you.
It just be like, obviously, you can act.
And I'm like 17 and I'm crying. I'm like, I knew I was disgusting. and he's just going. He doesn't, my tears mean nothing. He's like, why are you crying? I'm telling you the truth. Because I love you, Daddy. They lied to you, and then they say you're pretty. They lied to you.
That's the greatest thing. Immigrant parents are going to go, listen, they tell you school, you can do anything you want to do. This is lie. They say you put your mind to, you believe in yourself. You are fat. And you are stupid, and you cannot do.
Did your parents, and this is like the last thing, did your mom have any rules like you couldn't go to slumber parties and things
Oh
like that?
my God. Yeah, we talked about that. No way. I'd be like, Mom, can I sleep over this person? She's like, she'd know the whole family. She's like, no, because they have brother and they're going to molest you. And she wouldn't even go. Because I don't think she even said they'd molest you. She kind of thought maybe like, oh, my daughter might have some whore in her. She's like, they have brother. I don't know what you're going to do.
Yeah. This horrible thing.
Deep down, we have to stop the force that it is in you.
Yeah, horrible thing. He molests you, but much more likely you're disgusting and you know this about yourself. Maybe you throw yourself at him. Maybe you throw yourself at father. Who knows? I don't know if my daughter ruined a good man marriage.
Leonarda, they are happily married.
Yeah.
And here come you, homewrecker.
Yeah. 11-year-old, you try to break up marriage. We know you do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was stalked by a pedophile for 3 years, and my mother was like, why don't you make yourself look less attractive? We know, we shave your head. This way, nobody wants to fuck you.
Yeah, and now your dad is hard on himself. He's like, I tell her whole life she's disgusting. and now she do something about it, and it's problem. I should have been more encouraged.
Wait, how old were you when you had a pedophile stalking?
From I was 8 to 11, and I outsmarted him at every term. I knew what he wanted. I was like,
"What are you, fucking Wile E. Coyote?"
It was. I was like Wile E. Coyote because here's the deal. My mother.
You were chasing him?
No, I was running away, but I was the road runner. But my mother, because my mother had told me, like, if you ever do something with a man, your father will kill you. I was like, well, this is my responsibility, and I will be beat for getting molested, so it's not going to happen.
Yeah. That's,
Wow.
Yeah.
See, parents.
Yes, that's what it is.
Well,
It's
I
called
mean, this whole
parenting.
thing where you're supporting kids who get molested, like maybe they wouldn't have got molested if you made it their own fault. Woo!
Victim blaming.
I'm kidding.
It works.
Yeah. There you go.
Shaming, victim blaming.
Well, I mean, I'm glad my mother, but they would warn me that a lot of people were sick. They were like, there's a lot of sickos. We're in America now. And because I had that in my head, when this guy started coming around, I was like, this is one of the ones they told me about.
My mom told my brother and I about John Walsh as a kid.
Yeah.
You know about Adam Walsh and why they started America's Most Wanted?
No.
Okay, so America's Most Wanted was started because John Walsh's son, Adam Walsh, was abducted in a grocery store or whatever. Like, never saw him again. And they never found his body or his head. He was decapitated. I forget whichever one. So my mom would like tell me and my brother this stuff like that. And then so like even like when it comes to like molestation shit, she go, "There's a lot of gross people out there. What do you do if somebody ever tries to stick their penis in your mouth?" And you go, "Why would anybody do that?" And you go, "What do you do?"
By the way,
bite it off? You go, "You bite it off." That was a real lesson.
That's awesome.
By the way, this is nobody talks about the fact that this is probably a reason why baseball lost a lot of popularity with kids. Don't show his little league photo in the Wikipedia of his murder, and this happened in your backyard in Hollywood, Florida.
It was in 1985 or
That's really sad.
89 or something.
He was born in 74.
My God.
So he was like 8 years old.
Did they ever catch the guy who did it?
No.
Fucking A, dude. I don't know why people do that. Like, why would you want to do that?
I don't know.
Sick.
That's why I love that movie, Minority Report.
Pre-crime?
When they took it, like his son was like abducted when he was at the pool and shit. And that's like his backstory in that. Yeah. So is this why you think you kind of go hard on like trans and molesting?
Yeah, I go hard.
I know that shit bothers me too. Like when they like libs of TikTok, everybody always like, why are they all they want to do is this shit about schools and LGBTQ, and you're like, yeah, because like the trans kid thing bothers me, and it's like the same thing as like the molestation. Do you think it's because you were in this super fucking victim blaming of a household that now it's like you have?
I'm obviously joking. My parents didn't say it would be my fault, but they really didn't do anything to help. So, I think I'm against it because one, that I lived with that terror, so it's almost you know
3 years. That's a long time.
Yeah, and you're living with constant terror that like what the guy wants. I mean,
was it like a family member?
No, it was a neighbor down down the hall who like was a drug addict and would like. I was like, first of all, why would you think that me? I was so hot as a little kid. I wasn't fat yet. Why would you think I would go for a drug addict?
Same.
I was
so
like,
hot as a kid is hilarious.
I was, yeah.
I was an attractive child.
I literally.
I mean, if there was anybody who was going to get molested, it was going to be me.
Yeah, I was not. And
you ever seen some of these kids that get molested? You're like, what do you even see in them?
What this? Yeah, dude, it's so funny you say that because I
was mad.
No. No, I posted a picture of myself on Twitter. This was probably like almost 10 years ago. It was before I got canceled. But my mom had come to visit and she brought all these like family photos and a bunch of pictures when I was a kid to show my girlfriend. And I was like flipping through and I posted one on Twitter and was like, what an unfuckable child I was.
Yeah, there you go.
Right. And then everyone, when I got canceled in 2018, or they tried to cancel me, everyone went back and pulled that tweet and photoshopped like the picture out.
Oh.
So it looks like I'm just making a tweet about someone else. So it's like, what an unfuckable child. And it's like,
shut up.
This is why you can't give any of this merit, is because the people are just lying about. You know what I mean?
Take them
like,
seriously.
Well, yeah, because the ones that want to fuck kids, they're like, where's the chapped upper lip? That's the sell.
Wait.
We don't get it.
Is that a thing?
You didn't get it?
No.
It's been a great episode, everybody. You can find Nick Romero in prison next week.
What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even want to know the answer to it. I don't want to know the
I
answer
don't.
to it, and nobody does. Nick,
Yeah.
way to really fuck up the orgy. Guys, April 22nd at the end of South Bay in Torrance. Come check out the taping of my special. We'll all be there except Leonarda because she's too cool and she's leaving that day. But we'll all be there. Myself, Carl Spitali, Nick you'll be there, right?
Yeah. I'll be there.
Dick Masterson, Vito Giswaldi. But it's going to be a great time. All the guys are going to be hanging out. Sam Tripoli will be there. Kind of all of our regular crew will be there. So it'll be a good time. And, there's going to be a lot of people there, but don't take that for granted. So we want to see you. Show up. It doesn't matter if you made reservations. You got to show up. Take the test. Anything you guys want to plug before we get out of here, Leonarda?
Just follow me on Twitter, Leonarda_Jonie.
You're a
with
great
J.
follow. You're a great follow.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun over there.
Everybody knows that. Nick Romero, anything you want to plug?
Just Machine Gun Comedy
Every
on Instagram.
Monday?
That's it. Every Monday at the end,
In
and
Torrance.
we're branching out, so we're gonna have some cool shit coming up.
Yeah. Not Tucson, though. By the way, in case you're still watching and you're expecting to see us in 2 days in Tucson, not happening.
Something happened at the border.
Carl, anything you want to plug? Talking Spit?
Go to my YouTube. It's just Carl Spitali.
Yeah.
At Carl Spitali.
By the way,
And,
but fucking congratulations. Emmy nominated Carl Spitali, everybody.
Well,
fucking make noise for
the
him.
show. The
Emmy
short
nominated.
was-
I guess only me.
Really?
clapping.
The
Yeah.
short is.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Well, yeah, but you were part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you sucked, I don't think they would have been Emmy
That's what I
nominated.
said.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But
So
it's-
Emmy
it's a
nominated Carl
sports
Spitali.
Where's your money?
Well, don't get it. We don't have time to get into this. This is a whole other episode. But thanks, everybody. We'll see you next week.